Hello! If you're a regular viewer to my channel, you might realise that things look a little bit different, and that's because I am in my living room with my desk in front of my sofa, so I look like a child who's been invited to sit with the adults at a wedding. So, reason being, I have in this box my Steam machine. So, the reason I'm in my living room is because this is where my Steam machine will be. I've noticed there's been a lot of negativity around the Steam machine, particularly with its price, which is obviously something that we can all agree is pretty outrageous. And then a lot of people really picking apart the specs. And I'm not a specs guy, I'm an experience guy. So what I'm going to do is we're going to have a look at this box today, and then I'm going to test this out over a couple of weeks. I'm going to let you know how I get on. So first and foremost, let's see what's in the box. So it's a very well packaged box. So you can see on here, we've got some lovely Steam branded goodies and then the device itself. So first up, let's make a bit of room. We've got our Steam controller. So I've already got a Steam controller. I did get one when they went on sale and I'm a massive fan of it. So a lot of people might think, but why would you get a second one? And as this is going to be my living room device, the reason I decided to get a second one is so that my partner and I, we can sit and we can play couch co-op games, because my reason for getting the Steam machine, I'm not looking at something to replace my gaming PC. I'm not looking for something to replace my handheld. What I want is an all-in-one machine where I can play modern games, my retro classics, and also as it runs SteamOS, I'll be able to install things like Plex on here, so I can use it as a TV box. I can watch movies, I can watch YouTube, I can watch RetroPup, as you should all be doing right now and subscribing. So if you just give me a couple minutes just to get some scissors so I can open this bloody box. There we go. So, Steam controller, so obviously the same box that my other one came in, which I really do like, because you can just pull this little tab here to take off that front cardboard and open it up, and it's just gorgeous. It really is well packaged and well presented. And big fan of the Steam controller, very, very comfy, just works. Next up, we have our, I believe these are our faceplates. So they look huge, and that's the thing about the Steam machine, is when you see it in videos and pictures, it's bigger than you'd think. It's still very low profile, it's still very compact, but it's bigger than you'd think. So we'll have a look at these. So there we are. So all that box for little faceplate. So we can see we've got this, it's almost like a kind of microfibery, kind of static cloth. Again, very well packaged. Simple cardboard. So which faceplate is this going to be? I'm assuming there's already one on the device. So this is our, it's like a wood style. I've seen this one before, and I don't really know where I am with it. I'm going to probably try them out as I cover the device, but this one doesn't really speak to me. I imagine that this is probably best for a kind of living room. If you've got a very kind of rustic, wooden style living room, then this one will go nicely. Although I've already said my girlfriend will be choosing the faceplate because it's her living room and she's done a lot of the work in here, so my point is moot. I'll just stick with the plain black one, me, or she's probably going to get some funky one off Etsy or something like that. So, big fan of that. Let's have a look at the other one. I think this is a red, like an orangey red. Although, what I've tend to find is, it's very hard to demonstrate colour on a lot of videos, obviously, because there's some amount of post-processing that's involved. But when you see, I remember seeing when Sony announced a lot of their really colourful DualSense controllers, I wasn't that fussed. And then my mum ended up buying one, and it looked, in person, it looked beautiful. So apologies, but I can't do the colours of any of this justice. So let's open up this. So I believe it's like a red. This one seems to be packaged a lot tighter than the other one. And also it's a different material, which is interesting. Not sure why that is. That's kind of almost got like a velvety quality, whereas this feels plasticky. So this is like a red, and I didn't realise it's actually, I thought it was just like a painted red, but it's actually kind of soft. There's like a layer on it. Kind of feels a bit like a curtain. But it's an okay red. It's red. not the most exciting. So again, that'll be Jess's choice, which one we end up going for. I'll let her have a play around. But I do quite like the wood one. I'm not fan. So we've got our 2 faceplates, we've got our controller, now the main event. If you've just skipped to this bit, I'll be very disappointed in you. I'm going to pop that box down there. So it is a chunky boy. This is the box. So what's the safest and easiest way to open this? I'm assuming you do it on the side. And then can we just pull... All right, so we've got this there's a little tab here. So we can just rip this off. And then does this just hopefully open up? Oh, yeah. So we can just pull this apart. And there we go. That was a lot more painless than I thought it was going to be. So what's in here? So I think that's just instructions and things like that. So we'll take the machine out first. And then underneath the machine, we've got a little box, which I'm assuming will be charging cable, HDMI. Yep, that looks to be that. And then we've also got this side of it, which again looks to be just instruction, warranty, all that. Very, very interesting documentation that these devices tend to come with. So we'll pop that aside for now. We'll get the Steam controller out of the box, give it a little bit of YouTube-y presentation. So, yep, there are cables. So let's just open up the device. So this material is the same that was in the wooden faceplate, so I don't know why they went for something different for the red one. Possibly made in a different factory or a different batch, perhaps. No idea. So we've opened this up, and then we've got a little bit of plastic around the outside, so we'll just take that off. I suppose I could just slide it off, really, couldn't I? There we go. So already this feels very weighty, quite sturdy. So on the front we've got our 2 USB ports and that's a micro SD for obviously expanding your storage. You've got your power button, and then on the back we've got DisplayPort, we've got HDMI, we've got power, which is just your normal 8-pin, Ethernet, so I'll definitely be running off Ethernet. 2 more USB-A's and then a USB-C. Quite surprised there's only one USB-C. Yeah, quite surprised there's only one USB-C, especially in today's day and age. Now, for the faceplates, they are magnetic, so you can just pop them off. And you don't need too much force, and you can see in there, I don't know if it'll pick on camera, it's the heat sink. And it is basically a heat sink with it's a heatsink that runs SteamOS. Have you ever seen the UK show Black Books? There's a scene where Dylan Moran says to Bill Bailey, "You're a beard with an idiot hanging off it." And this is a heatsink with SteamOS hanging off it. It does appear. So, like I said at the start of the video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this set up. My girlfriend and I were going to test it over the next few weeks. Going to have a play around. This is the 2TB model with the controller, so I need to recoup that cost somehow. So please like, subscribe, make sure you watch all my videos. I'll have videos coming out about the Steam Deck, and also I'll probably do a review, because just to reiterate, a lot of people are looking at this from a specs point of view. I'm looking at it from an experience point of view. So can the Steam machine do what I want it to do? I want to play modern games, not necessarily at 4K, don't really care for 4K, but if it runs 1080p 60, I'll be happy with that. Runs those games, an all-in-one emulation station, and then can I stream Plex, watch YouTube, listen to audiobooks, podcasts, and use it as a little bit of a home entertainment system as well. So be sure to check out the review when it comes out in the next couple of weeks. Check out my other videos. I cover the AY and THOR, I'll be covering the AY and Odin, loads of the retro handhelds, and I'll cover whatever people are interested in. So give us a like, give us a subscribe, tick the bell, and I will see you next time. Bye now.